Good morning, everybody, especially if your name is Michael Carrick. Sammy, United People's TV, here to kick off what should be a very enjoyable week here in United People's TV towers, in the chat, in the live shows that we have, because we've had some struggles, we've had some ups and downs. I'm an optimistic person, and I couldn't possibly have predicted the level of that performance that we saw against City. We'll run through. We might have a world record of tabs open here. I've got somewhere between like 40 and 50 different tabs open. I've spent the last hour and a half researching this show because there are so many things that I want to have a conversation about. I get the feeling this show is going to go over an hour. How are you all doing? Who had a good weekend? Did anybody else go to the cinema yesterday, watch a bit Lord of the Rings? Hands in the air. Come on. I only watched the first one, though. No way could I survive all three of those. My ass would be dead. We're going to run through the full reaction from Carrick about the players. I'm going to speak about Scholes. Boy, oh boy. Anyway, Martinez's comments, which were bang on in reaction to that. And a full look at the week ahead. It's going to be a busy show. Please do get involved. And I hope you've all got a smile on your face, because I do this morning. It's going to be a good show. Let me see who's here from the mods and the members. Ant and Maddie, good morning to you. Josh, you're there as well. Carl, you're there. We've got JC. We've got got Gungshi there as well. Full house of the big boys. We've also got, who else down here? We've got Smee. We've got Liam. We've got Loz and Craig and some non-members too. We've got Steve Does Tech. We've got Natasha, Molly May. We've got Andy. Don't think it's that Molly May. Probably not. Carrick fan. We've got Nicole. And we've got Dave. Good morning to all of you. And Jesus. Mate, the big Don's coming in. JC and Gungshi. Both gifting 50 memberships. I love you both. I love the whole... I love being here, especially after wins like that. Because it's so nice to have a bit of fun and to be able to chat through it all together. You know, one thing I will say, I realised last week, I was looking behind me going, I really like what we've done in the studio, but this for me feels a little bit messy. It feels like I can do more with this. So we're working on it now with Maddie and Addicts. We're going to hopefully bring a little bit of a redesigned studio, a new and refreshed look. And I think you're really going to like what we're doing. All right. But all of you, all 100 of you just been gifted a membership straight away to begin the show. All of you, get in the Discord. All right. Gus is saying, how long did we have such an uplifting move for a live show? I was thinking about this. You know, people were saying that was the best performance that we've seen in a long time. When was that the best performance since? I honestly couldn't put a finger on it. I really couldn't. Now, first things first, let's run through the full Premier League results from the weekend, and then we'll dive into the United game. All right? Obviously, it started with United absolutely not just beating City. We whooped them silly. We left them battered and bruised and crying on the floor and calling for their mum. That's what happened on Saturday. It was spectacular beyond belief in terms of everyone's expectations going into it. Like the optimistic version of me, I was like, I'm hoping that United can get a 2-1 win, but I expected it to be scrappy, tense, nervous, on the edge, just about holding on towards the end if we do win the game. And instead it was the total opposite. The total opposite. Old Trafford was rocking Shmee. A few lads who went to the game, I knew a few lads who went to the game, and they were all saying it. Chris was saying it was the best since Barcelona. Remember that under Ten Hag? That was a rocking night. Oh my God, it is absolutely raining in here. Mania gifting 10 and Dean coming in. 3 of you gifting 50. Like, man, the generosity of this community. Dean, thank you so much, man. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all for sticking around through the crap so we can all enjoy this sort of thing together when it is, as someone says down there, spectacular. Results on the weekend, though, all right? United beating City 2-0. Chelsea beating Brentford. Leeds beating Fulham. Nothing really to report there. Liverpool dropping points against Burnley. Sunderland at home beating Palace. Man, they got a ridiculous record at home this season. Thomas Frank is getting sacked, isn't he? Mate, Thomas Frank, that... Thomas Frank was flavour of the month after what? 5 weeks this season? Do you remember the conversations, the discourse that was going around? It's kind of just what happens in football fan bases, right? It's just football Twitter. Oh, you know, I made such a mistake doing this. And then United, I should have kept Ruben Amorim doing that. Blah, 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 blah. Now Thomas Frank I mean, he's definitely getting sacked, isn't he? Anyway, Spurs losing at home to West Ham to a last-minute winner. And Arsenal just being, I suppose, Arsenal. Drawing, not taking advantage of the opportunity. And then Newcastle dropping points away at Wolves. Villa losing at home against Everton. I don't know how many times we have to say this week. Right, no, not this week, but I suppose this is very different. United have actually taken advantage completely of an opportunity. All 4 teams above us in the league dropped points this weekend. And there was only 2 teams inside the top 8 who won this weekend. This league season will very much go down in memory as one of the... It feels like this season has got more swings than I can remember in any season. Because it's not just about 1 team or 2 teams. It's literally anybody in the top 10. 4, 5, 6, maybe even 8 teams inside the top 10 can probably drop points in any one weekend. But United gained 2 points on Arsenal, 3 points on City, 3 points on Villa, 2 points on Liverpool, 2 points on Newcastle. It was only us and Chelsea inside the top 8 who won. And now we got Arsenal next. That's going to be an interesting one. Can I just say quick... I had a photo of him. I accidentally bloody closed it. Whoops. I want to say commiserations too. Bloody, let me get... I accidentally closed one of my 400 tabs this morning. 1 second here. Because I want to speak about this bloody game. It was full-blown mental. Commiserations to Mazraoui. Last night, Morocco losing the AFCON final to Senegal. Did you watch it? Blimey. That was just full-blown madness. If you didn't see it, right towards the end, last minute, Morocco were given a penalty. Yeah, it shouldn't really have been. It was never a penalty. And then the whole Senegal team walked off. And then it was delayed by 10, 15 minutes. And then, mate, Brahim Diaz, what went through your mind there to do a Panenka? I've got no idea. But missed the penalty kick because it was just a ridiculous... I'm trying to think of what's going through his head. He goes, I've got it. They'll never expect it. Just focus, mate. Just put your foot through it, man. Just put your foot through it. Worst comes to worst, the keeper saves it, but if you had a good penalty, the keeper can save it. It happens, but don't do that. Anyway, then Senegal will score a banger in the 5 minutes later, and they win. But commiserations to Mazraoui, because it would have been great to see him come back as a champion. But, yeah, and then I forgot about that. Senegal getting a bloody goal disallowed 2 minutes before the end as well. Mad. Anyway, commiserations to Mazraoui. Let's move on, though, and let's speak about that game. Yeah, I agree with you down there. This season is a roller coaster. It really is. It's not just... I wouldn't say I take any solace in it, but it's kind of good to know that it's not just Manchester United, right? Like the swings, the pendulums, the up and downs, the craziness, the highs and the lows. Oof, it is a Premier League-wide epidemic this season. It's certainly not just with us. But let's just focus on us. That's all we can do, really. That's all we should do. And let's focus on that game. Now, what's your feeling now? Just under 48 hours since that game. Saturday, early kickoff. We had the whole weekend to enjoy it. I have a match reaction out. If I wasn't so busy yesterday, I would have done 2 videos, but I already had some stuff planned. I would have certainly done another video on the Martinez and Scholes and Keane situation, which I'll probably do today. So expect there to be a double drop here. Probably lunchtime and maybe 7 p.m. today. That was spectacular. You know what was great? Seeing Fergie smile. Yeah, it was. Maddie, I'm still buzzing. I think we're all buzzing. And you fired in a super chat earlier. I did remember that. Let me quickly go back and see that. Slap City like they owed us money. The acid test now will be when we have the majority of possession. It'll be interesting to see what Carrick comes up with. I I covered I covered the tactics of Carrick on a very basic level in my video in the build up to the game, right? And part of what Carrick wants is control in midfield. But I think what you saw against City was control in midfield without having the ball. Because we were very, very compact. We had quite obvious, disciplined shapes in and out of possession. You know what I want to say here? Can someone please explain this to me? Right, I won 2-0 against City. Maguire hit the bar after 2 minutes, which should have gone in. That was a bad miss. And then we had not 1, not 2, but 3 goals ruled out for offside. Now, the Ahmad one, really tight. Bruno one, that was offside. This one, can someone please explain to me? Because I'm pretty sure that they're choosing that player as the player that Cunha's getting marked offside against. But is Rodri not deeper? Like, obviously, I can't do the bloody lines accurately, but I swear Rodri is deeper. I swear they've chosen to do the offside on the wrong player there. Because that was Mount's goal right at the end to make it 3-0. That goal should have stood. That was an odd one. But I think it's fair to say, Ahmad hitting the bar. Ahmad hitting the post. Was it the post or the bar? I can't remember. Right towards the end. Was anybody in the chat? Were you at the game? Did you enjoy yourself? Because it must have been wonderful there. Carrick got it so right. Oh, and that was fun. That little rondo towards the end where Cherky was getting made to chase his own tail. That was funny. This is what I mean. Like, the most optimistic version of us all couldn't have expected that level of organisation, I think. What were you most impressed with? Like, what was the standout thing for you in that game? For me, it was the organisation. Like, I knew what Carrick wanted to bring to this team. I knew he wanted us to be that 4-4-2 out of possession. I knew that he wanted to play 3 at the back and push 1 fullback forward when we're in possession. And I knew that he wanted to have a little bit more control in the midfield and be a bit more patient. I don't think that particular... Well, we were a bit more patient. I wouldn't say we had too much control, but I don't think we needed the ball. We gave City the ball and we stopped. You know what we did? We kind of did to City what so many teams have done to us. You know how it's kind of easy to play against United? Say, look, all you got to do, just let them have the ball and you just stay in that really tight, compact, narrow shape and they probably won't be able to play through you. That's exactly what we did to City. But this is the good part. We didn't do that to the detriment of us going forward. We scored 2. We had 3 ruled out for offside, and we hit the bar and the post. So it wasn't as if we were just doing some Jose Mourinho, park the bus, and then just boot it along to one player and hope something happens. Nah, we were actually still very good going forward. And it was the organisation. I'm going to see what you're saying down here in the chat. 90 minutes of full energy, no drop in intensity. That's a good point. Teamwork and passion. Someone says down there, bit of passion, bit of energy. The attacking energy, work rate. Casemiro still having legs. Casemiro played very well. Dorgu surprised me. I agree. Loved the aggression. You could see a plan in action. It was working well. For Carrick, this is what he said. Right? He's talking about the tactics, but he was putting a lot of praise on those players. I think everybody comes out of that shining, really. Everyone. Every single player. And Carrick. And the approach. Not Pep Guardiola, though. Look how pissed he was. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Why don't you roll that spit on your tongue, you whopper? I hate that. What is that? Can you even do it? What is it? What is it? Just like I've got this constant one bit of spit that never leaves his tongue. That I can't do it. Anyway, shame. Real shame. Oh, yeah, maybe delay. Like someone down there saying, Sam, how did you rate your subs? Was it... Who even were his subs? Cunha on for Delo. No, Cunha on for Mbumo. Who else came on? Cunha on for Mbumo. Ugarte for Casemiro, I think. Carrick's... I say Carrick. Mainu, I didn't expect him to be on for the full 90, but he was. What other subs did he make? I think that was it. Mount. Oh, yeah, Mount. Who did Mount come on for? Ahmed? Ugarte for Casemiro. Who was Mount on for? Yeah, I have him come on from Maguire as well. Right, but I want to... I've already done this in the video I did yesterday, but I want to just run through it again with you because there were two standout things for me from a tactical approach that Carrick nailed. And number one was, as I said, that really clear 4-4-2 shape. I mean, I suppose it is kind of the simplest thing in... Is it the simplest thing in football? Like a 4-4-2? As far as we're concerned, as we're in English, 4-4-2 is what we all remember for the majority of the 90s and 2000s. Straight 4-4-2, two flat lines of four. Bruno tucking in to be another false nine, I suppose, alongside Mbumo. And that was a big call, by the way. Carrick did make some big calls with that starting 11. To not play Šeško, to play Dorgu as effectively a left winger. Well, he pretty much was a left winger. It worked. They were two big calls. Looking at the starting 11, I saw people... It's why I will never, ever go crazy about a starting 11 or rip apart a starting 11. I just think it's excessive because you don't really know how the game's going to go out. You might have your expectations, but you were all completely proven wrong. The Šeško one in particular, I think, was quite a big call. But look, you've got the 4-4-2 shape there, United out of possession. And then as you get closer, I think this is something I really liked. Look how narrow they are. Who is that? So that's Bruno. That's Ahmad up. That's Ahmad up there, up top with Mbumo this time. It's Bruno, Casemiro, Mainu, and Dorgu inside the width of our back four, just cutting all the central space out. Central progression is impossible. If you want the ball, go wide to Semenyo or go wide to Doku. And as soon as that happened, United then doubled up on those players. Like Ahmad came across to help Delo or whoever it was on the left, Luke Shaw, don't quite know. Like someone said, he's just copying Fergie. It's got nothing to do with copying Fergie. It's nothing to do with like, oh, this worked before. Oh, let's just do it now. This is what Carrick did with Middlesbrough. It worked for him. And then when you go even deeper, United's shape was just very, very good out of possession. That's why, like you saw, like City had like the lowest XG that they've ever had in a Premier League game, I think, under Pep. We completely limited City from playing, but not at the detriment of United going forward. That has to be the thing that was the most impressive for me. That and the organisation, which I suppose are kind of the same thing. But I think I know what you all enjoyed the most. Because I'd be surprised if it was if it wasn't the exact same thing that I enjoyed the most. This. Like we talk about, like Gary Neville tried to speak about the United DNA and all this after. Truth be told, I can't be bothered with that conversation anymore. I can't be bothered. And to be fair, I think Michael Carrick said the exact same thing. He goes, not that he doesn't care about the United DNA, but it's just, it feels like a bit of a whiffy conversation to have. But I actually got a head rush from screaming so much when this went in. Because it was just so United, I suppose. Defending our box, defending it well, disciplined. And from that moment to 4 seconds later, United have 4-on-2. Because everybody is absolutely pelting it. Can you see, you look at Dorgu's starting position there. Behind Semenyo, who is rapid, by the way, to Dorgu's position there. I suppose kind of in line, but he's completely freed himself from the man and he's completely kept up with the attack. Like someone's mentioned it down there about counterattacking 08. They are my two favourite United goals to score. One is a blistering counter-attack, where it's so simple. In reality, it's very hard to execute, but very simple. It's just raw, pure power and acceleration. It's not really anything else. There's no intricate 1, 2, 3 part. Sod that. It's space and legging it. And then the pass from Bruno and the finish from Mbeumo is the hard part, because to do that at pace is infinitely more difficult. But just seeing United break out from that position there to score, we deserved it, man. We massively deserved that goal. Could have and should have been ahead. And United, as we've watched this season, typically when we've not taken our chances, it's ended up hurting us. But it didn't in that game. I'm going to go down and see what you're saying here. Great attacking play. A goal brought tears to my eyes. We did too little of it. And Mbeumo was so good running in behind. Yeah, look, we had that last-minute winner, I suppose. Yeah, you can add that to the list. The hat-trick of great goals. Counter-attacks like that. Absolutely spanking one in from outside the box off the bar. That's just a little personal one. I love those sorts of goals. And a last-minute winner. What are you saying down here? And Mbeumo's touch was fantastic. He needs to be on the end of the majority of our chances. For sure he does. He is our man. Not that I'm saying that Šeško isn't, but Mbeumo's just delivering. And then, on top of that, which is definitely being pointed out here, correctly so, Maguire and Martinez. That was Maguire's first start since November. Martinez, you're damn right we're going to have a section on the Martinez situation. Yeah. What's that cliche? Well, no, what's his face? Harvey Dent. You live long enough to become the villain, whatever it is. Something like that. No, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. I think there's something along those lines. Unfortunately, they're very much falling into that category. But all credit to these two. As I said, all credit to United's overall shape. But we've only kept 2 bloody clean sheets this season. Sunderland and Newcastle at home. Sunderland one was comfortable. That was a good game. Newcastle one, we were defending our box, but it was, if Newcastle's finishing was better, they easily would have scored. This game here, I can't remember Seny Lemons making a outrageous save. He made a couple of comfortable saves, couple of comfortable claims. But Haaland got hooked. For what, a teenager? Boy, they kept them quiet. It was really impressive. Really impressive. A couple of super chats. Let me read these out and I'll go down to the chats and see what else you're all saying as well. Cherky trying to force his statement on Derby that he'll kill us. Wah. He got roasted indeed. What do you think the main change was in the game, says Mr. Men? I mean, the tactics were really, really, really different. And it kind of impacted everything else that we did. Everyone seemed to know what they were doing straight away. And to be able to get that across after 3 training sessions was really quite impressive, man. Oh, you're saying Lacey's going to enjoy this formation? I'm looking forward to seeing him back in. Johnny's saying Šeško will finish more if we play like that. He makes them runs constantly and never gets fed. He will. I've got no worries about Šeško. But yeah, just really impressive from Maguire, from Martinez. And exactly what you're saying down there, JC. But I want to have a conversation about Kobe. Because in the chat across the course of the season, there's been, I suppose, mixed opinions on Kobe. His brother doing that T-shirt stunt really didn't help him, because I think it didn't turn some fans against Kobe, but it sort of enabled some fans to have more doubts about him. He was fantastic against City. And this here, the team put this together. This is just the United players leaving comments on his post, which was a class bloody photo, by the way. 10 out of 10 to the photographer. I called it Master and Apprentice. Kobe looked so good and so comfortable in that midfield. We didn't see Kobe covering a crap ton of ground. Because Cobby is not a ground coverage player. Never truly will be. Right? But he was being asked to. Amarim was so transfixed on his system that he just overlooked Cobby. He's not ready. Nope. Someone else. 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 Carrick started him in the derby, and he was fantastic. Deserves all the credit that he's getting. And was that his first Premier League start this season? Not exactly a bad way to remind people of his qualities. And I think, I'm not that your opinion's completely made up on Cobby, but you don't think he is going to be here. You've been quite fierce on your position on Cobby. I know, because I've read all the chats and I remember. Cobby has had to bide his bloody time. And for him to play like that in his first Premier League start, it's the perfect beginning for him under Carrick. And I think this system, this setup, this approach should really benefit someone like Cobby, because there's less space. It is more about control. It isn't about breaking these lines and running 30, 40 yards. Different ways to control the game of football. And sometimes you can do it without the football, which is exactly what we did against City. But Cobby had a great game. Can I just say this? Bastian Schweinsteiger might well be the greatest cheerleader that Manchester United have ever had. It is great how much he bloody loves United. I need to do a I need to do a podcast with Schweinsteiger, man. There's so many photos of him just like just enjoying watching United play, man. It cracks me up. Maybe not of all the signings, but right up there with the signings that we made. We made quite a few of those, like kind of past it a little bit. Schweinsteiger was probably the one that I wish that we signed him earlier. Man, he was so good. He was like the complete all-rounder midfielder. I wish we could have signed him earlier, but we didn't. Someone down there who's trying to have a go at me. DJ Fizz. Sam getting carried away as usual. Now, you know what, dude? I'm just fucking enjoying what I watched at the weekend. I'm just enjoying having a conversation about United, not just beating City, but absolutely obliterating City. And after the season that we have had, you are damn right that we can all enjoy this show here today. What's going to be the conversation going forward? Well, we'll speak about Arsenal. Can Carrick do it in that? More questions will be asked. But yeah, don't come in here and try and tell anybody that they can't enjoy what they saw against City. No one's saying United is back. No one's saying anything more than just having a great conversation about that win against City. I bet you're fun at parties. Right, move on. Somebody else. That's what I mean. That we could talk about the whole team. That's what you want, man. You have those games where, like, you've won a game of football, but it's down to an individual. It's down to a moment. It's like the whole team didn't particularly play well. But, you know, we've got the win because somebody scored a cracking volley or just... That wasn't that game. A game against City, to a man, pretty much, everybody played well. And Casemiro got a standing ovation towards the end of the game. And again, I'm talking about that tactical setup and approach from Carrick. And this shouldn't really be a surprise, but it will just complement and really help both Casemiro and Cobby. It will help both central midfielders. Given that Carrick was one of the best central midfielders, as I said, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise that his formation can be beneficial to the midfielders who are in that system. Has my opinion on Casemiro changed for what should be happening next season? No. I think Manchester United should be shaking Casemiro's hand, saying, thank you so much, man. Enjoy yourself. We're going to be reinvesting. But thank you for everything you've done for the club. Those two things are separate. You can argue they're together, I suppose. But he played well. Cobby played well. So did our defence. So did this lad. And again, Dorgu is somebody who he's come into fierce criticism this season. I spoke about him early this season. I said, you know what we hadn't seen enough of from Dorgu? It's probably development. I thought Dorgu largely was quite a similar player to the Dorgu who arrived from Lecce. I thought he really hadn't sort of developed in certain areas where I wanted him to develop. Something I can say with confidence now is how much better Dorgu looks in the attacking half. He played well, by the way, defensively too, covering back, doubling up for Luke Shaw. As I said, it was Ahmad and Delo doubling up on that right-hand side, and it was Dorgu and Shaw doubling up on that left-hand side. So any time that Semenyo or Dorgu got the ball, they got closed. But Dorgu, really good going forward again as an attacking option. Good feet, good work rate, in and out of possession. Just a very good performance. Someone down there, Smee, saying, do you think that was his best game? I mean, probably. I thought the Newcastle game, obviously, he was very good with the goal that he scored. Someone down there saying, do you think this should be our starting lineup going on? Well, we've learned a fair bit more. All the tactics that we could take a look at going into the City game was all based on what we saw at Middlesbrough. Now we can have a conversation about what we have seen firsthand at United, and we can take that into the Arsenal game, which will not be easy. We gave the ball to City, and we managed to defend brilliantly. That will be harder against Arsenal. I think if we do that against Arsenal, we're more likely to get picked open. And when you get picked open, then they score. That's when you got to start opening. I'm not sure whether the exact same approach against Arsenal will be the best idea, but we don't need to speak about that on Monday. We can have that conversation about on Thursday, because there's a few more things I want to talk about before we reach that point. So I'm talking about a cross-field ball from Dorgu. Not sure which one that one. You lot don't deserve Casemiro. All right, Izzy, you be you, dude. Like, people like, fans always get caught up emotionally, this and that. Oh, I'm going to come in after that because he won man of the match and said that Casemiro deserves a new contract. By the way, do you see what Laurie Whitwell said? This is a little bit random, this. I mean, it is quite random. I don't particularly think it's going to come into effect this season. I mean, in fact, it won't. But speaking about Casemiro, honestly, peeps, I think we're on for a record of how many bloody tabs I've got open. I'm really putting my computer through it. So this was before the game. Laurie Whitwell revealing that Casemiro's contract option has got an automatic extension trigger if he starts 35 games this season, which would mean, considering he was on 18 games going into the City game, so he's got to start every single game between now and the end of the season, which is unlikely to happen. So I don't think that there's going to be an automatic renewal of that contract for one more year. But that was just something I spotted. I just remembered it. I just wanted to mention it there. See, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, and look, you want to talk about Roy Keane? Well, we're going to be speaking about someone else first, but we will be speaking about Roy Keane. That might be one of my favourite ever edits, for real. I felt so much personal satisfaction for Martinez, for how he played in that game, for how Haaland wasn't able to play in that game, for how Haaland got hooked off and Old Trafford was taking the piss out of him. It was poetic after what Scholes and Butts said during the week. Now, I did my video on that, and I'll be honest, peeps, I'm really starting to fall out of love with players that I loved. Where's my Scholes one? I've got a Scholes poster down there. I've got a Keane poster down there. I just haven't got them up framed yet because I need more frames. You know who I want to speak about here before I speak about Button Scholes? I want to say two things, actually, because I think a couple of you, Stuart and Shax, both down there gifting 10 memberships each. Love you, dude. Can I say to Eamon, if you're watching, Eamon, by the way, that's up there now. That's the program that Eamon sent in from 1964. That's now on the wall. I apologise that didn't go up quicker, but it's up there now. And all of you, if you want to get involved in sending stuff in for the wall, for the studio, the PO box. It's pinned to the chat. I'd love you to send some more stuff in, whether it's photos, whether it's, I don't know what it is, ticket stubs, anything from away games, anything you think that would be cool for the community wall, because there's still loads of room for us to fill here. It's my ambition to get the whole thing filled up. Right. First thing I want to say here before I speak about Scholes and Keane, I want to say it's really good to see Rio saying this after the game. And actually before the game, he spoke out about... and this is the thing that's pissing me off, right? I've got to say this straight away. Like, these United legends, Scholes and Keane, they're making United fans, like, almost choose between them and, like, our current club. Which might be a strange thing for me to say, but you can just tell that they don't have United as their priority anymore. Rio, they're speaking out saying that he's expecting some apologies. Evra coming out saying that people need to respect Martinez a little bit better. And it's just frustrating. I want to run through what Martinez's reaction was and also what Scholes' reaction was. And you sent a super chat. What are you saying down here? Panic not, people. Hana's been reported as safe. He's been at nursery as usual. He's happily stacking blocks. I want to go back to that again. It's so good. It's so good. But Martinez's response, right? I'm going to run through the full quotes. Martinez was asked in the mix zone after the game what he thought about the Scholes and Butt comments. This is what he said. He was asked whether the Argentina international insisted he was not affected by them, but challenged him and other former United players in the media to criticise him in person. Honestly, he can say whatever he wants. I told him already, if he wants to say something to me, he can come to wherever he wants, to my house, wherever, I don't care. And I think for me, I respect the relations when they want to help the club, because everyone can talk on television, but when you sit here face to face, no one says anything. So for me, I don't really care what they say. I just put the focus on my performance, the performance of the team, and I give everything to this club until my last day. And he also sort of spoke about how there's only one thing that's really driving Martinez, or maybe who he'll listen. It's just his family. This outside noise is not going to be something that really affects him or he cares about. And this bit here is probably the thing that has annoyed me the most, I would say. And I'm going to put this firmly in the same category as Tim Sherwood. This was Paul Scholes' reaction. Someone's had a good game. Was really happy for you. Tea, no sugar, please. Now, why are you being such a bellend, Scholes? For real. Why? I spoke about those comments from Button Scholes in a podcast. It's just pure talk sport mockery. It's like asking a set of Year 5 students to make a podcast about football. It's childish playground convo from two academy graduates who have been in the club and know what it is to play for this goddamn football club. And that's the shit that they come out with. And then on top of that, and this is why I'm putting it in the Sherwood category, Sherwood was giving it large to Šeško for that, who was it? Burnley. Should never wear the shirt again. Šeško then goes on to score 2 goals. And instead of going, oh, you know what? Fair play, Benjamin. He's made me look like a bit of a fool. Sherwood just doubled down. Scholes here, doubling down. Patronising comment in response. Not, you know what? Fair enough. Probably shouldn't have done that. You proved yourself. An excellent performance. Well done, Martinez. No, instead it's sort of like in the corner going, nah, man. Nah, I was fine with what I did. It's just... That's what I mean. This is an absolutely crap situation. And look, Roy Keane as well. I don't know if you've seen this. This came out from Mike Keegan in the Daily Mail. Sky Sports put in a request for Roy Keane to speak to Carrick ahead of the game. The same Roy Keane who had... I wouldn't say he went in two-footed on Carrick. He questioned whether Carrick was the right appointment. People do that. That's opinions. I don't think there's anything to really write home about. I'd rather they look glass half full, but not really pissed off about those comments. But it was more that Keane was throwing barbs at Carrick's wife for effectively something that may not have happened like 10, 15 years ago. And Keane is still holding that grudge. Like, honestly, people, you're looking at two of my favourite ever United players here. Roy Keane is the best ever captain that will play for our football club. I very much doubt I'm going to see a better one in my lifetime. I'm never going to see a better passer than Paul Scholes play for United in my lifetime. I love these players. But you can't convince me they're United fans. You just cannot. And this is the thing that's pissing me off so much. Like, in this day and age, like someone down there saying that you need to realise he's a podcaster now. He's got to eat. Mate, you can eat everything else. Do you have no loyalty? Do you have no affiliation to United anymore? You don't need to stir the pot, which is boiling over 24/7. You could, if you wanted to, take a very different route. You could support your players. And this is what I always say on this channel, right? Ladies and gents, I don't care if I'm made to look stupid about supporting a manager, about supporting a player. I will do so until I personally, not when you think, but when I personally think it's untenable. And that's when my position will shift. I had to sit here and take dog's abuse for months because I was still trying to stand in the corner to try and support Solskjaer. Ten Hag, I got that wrong, just like Ineos did. Amorim, well, he was only sacked because he called out the bloody people above him. If you're a United fan right now, it's really quite shit sitting here and just watching our former legends and players that we loved just kind of like they're not undoing any of their legacy, but they're slapping a new layer on the trifle that they don't need to. That's going to bury a lot of the good stuff they did, because they're going to be remembered from anybody now for something very different to what we remember them as. And it's just crap. Like, so, who was it? I saw this. Rob Dawson from ESPN. There will always be a place for criticism, man. I'm really glad that such a big spotlight is being put on this. Some are going to, snowflake generate, snowflake players this. No, mate, just politely piss off. Go back to watching Russell Brand or some other crap. Disappear out of my timeline. Please, for the love of God. It's just so unnecessary. Let's see what happens. Scholes going to go around Martinez's house for a cup of tea? Don't know. Probably not. It's just so ridiculously unnecessary. And it takes away from... Well, it's just, there shouldn't be any conversation after this about that sort of stuff. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat, by the way. Right? That was a bit of me. And I think you might be able to tell what my video this evening is going to be about. Right, what are you saying down here? Butt retreated into his own crack. You're liking that one, Joey, but I've got a good one here. I can get a double butt joke. Come on. I swear this doesn't happen with any other team, someone says down there. I mean, it might do, but no one gives a toss what Gabby Abondahor has got to say about Aston Villa. Let's be completely honest. No one cares if John Carew comes in with a 2-footer on Ollie Watkins. I don't know why I'm going after Villa so much. Just Villa's on my mind. It's the truth. I think anybody will really care if Frank Leboeuf comes out and criticises Cucurella at Chelsea? Nah, you're irrelevant. No one cares. United though, gobble gobble. Vultures everywhere. Any chance to pounce and stick a knife in, yep, that's going to be me. I just didn't expect the person to be holding the knife to be Roy Keane and Paul Scholes. I expected those two to be the ones standing there with the shields, protecting. Instead, they're on the other side. That's what's annoying me so much. Captain T1 saying, Keane's not a United fan, so I understand him more so. Scholes, Butt and Neville, I can't understand. Academy grads that have now got a voice. I don't think Keane's ever looked the same at United since Fergie, since what happened. I don't think he ever will. Given the fact that Roy Keane held on to the comments that Carrick's wife said, I think he's going to hold on to what happened and his acrimonious departure from United forever. That's what's going on down here. It seems like a good comment. Sam, you have a podcast and you need to eat and don't have millions stashed from playing, but you're not coming out with that. Oh, actually, you're saying it for me. I get you. I thought you were coming at me. I was going to go for a little swing back. No. It's just this day and age, people. It's this day and age, unfortunately. No, it's not just this day and age. Previously, remember when we were speaking about this? I said previously you could sort of, just ignore it, it'll go away. Well, you can't ignore it when it's two of your best ever midfielders coming out and saying it. And that's what annoys me so much. I should be having to swat Jamie Carragher away or swat Jermaine Genius. Instead, I'm swatting somebody who I've literally got a poster down here because of how incredible a player he was for our football club. And that's something that Carrick's going to have to... Will Carrick have to deal with it? I mean, he's trying not to. He's trying to get these players to ignore it, but that's very much easier said than done. Shem, there won't be a quiz today. There's not going to be a quiz every day. Every single Friday, we're going to bring the quiz back. So we brought it back on Friday. But if we did it every single day, no, we can't. Shall we have a little conversation for 10, 15 minutes towards the end, just about transfers? Just about stuff that's happened over the weekend and conversations we can have. Rex is saying, I don't see Henry or Vieira talking rubbish about Arsenal. I'm sure they did, but Henry would have done it in a constructive way. I'm sure Vieira, has Vieira really ever done any punditry? Don't quite know. These retro players, people call them retro players, I suppose. That's what they are now, really. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. Fergie rules the media with an iron fist. We need that steel back at the club. I've already spoken about exactly what we need. It's us against the world mentality. That's what we need. Which is precisely why the Keane and Scholes stuff pisses me off so much. Because it's almost like it's friendly fire. It's bullets from within. Like, it's hard enough trying to defend United against the world. Because the whole world wants United to still fail. Make no mistake. They have loved what's happened to our football club. The best thing that ever happened to the rest of the Premier League was the Glazers taking over Man United. And they're still feeding off it. So we have to close the doors. It has to be us against the world. Leaks, you undermine what we're doing here. Moles, bullets from within, friendly fire. Let alone Keane and Scholes being the champions of that friendly fire in the media that you're trying to go against. Like, what are you supposed to do here? It's tough. And we here at the United People's TV, and I'm saying we because you're going to all join in with me, I'm going to keep speaking out against it the more that they do it. Because it's bullshit. They know it's not helping the football club. But they can't help themselves. It's kind of why, I suppose, it's a big reason why, sorry to sort of focus on this, but it's a big reason why UPTV exists. Like, the community that we've got here, probably so many of you, I can't speak for all of you, but probably quite a lot of you over the last, let's call it, I don't know, year, it feels like a year or two, have probably just become more and more disassociated with mainstream coverage. And, like, when I'm watching a game now, half-time, I mute half-time. Full-time, I mute. I used to love sitting there Maybe half-time I didn't care as much about. Full-time, always used to love sitting there, listening to the analysis, watching. Obviously, I'm a bit different because I'm doing this now, so I'm doing my own. But I'm sure there's going to be quite a lot of you that have just more and more disassociated with what the mainstream is. And it's why what we've got here is so authentic. And I think that's probably one of the greatest strengths that we've got here at United People's TV and always will have. Like the authenticity. We're genuine. Yeah, sometimes we'll get carried away. Of course we will. That's what happens. You as fans, that's why we shouldn't be decision makers, because we're all in the swings. Anyway, just want to say that. Transfers. Do I think that United are going to be making transfers? Nah, not really. This is what Fabrizio Romano is saying, okay? Everything that we've been told up until this point is United don't really have any plans in January other than any long-term plan that can be brought forward. But we're not going to be able to sign Elliot Anderson. And believe me, you potentially could, but I don't know whether he's top of the list anymore. And Adam Wharton, I don't know either. Let alone everybody else. But this is what Fabrizio's saying. I'm not sure I can be asked to play the full clip. I'll just play a little bit.
Staying in England, guys, I wanted to mention something on Manchester United, because in the next hours, I would say, at the very beginning of this week, there will be an internal meeting at the club at Manchester United involving also the ideas of Michael Carrick. Then it's not Michael Carrick who decides, but Michael Carrick, who started his Manchester United chapter in a fantastic way by winning the Manchester Derby, showing very good energy, very good football. But at the same time, Carrick will be involved in the conversation with Man United to decide on several situations. What they want to do on the market from now to the end of the January transfer window. If they want to go and try get a player for an opportunity, maybe in midfield, maybe in other positions, maybe a striker. So they need to assess and decide.
Right, so it's a whole load of nothing. Fantastic, Fabrizio. It's exactly the same situation as we were in before. They're going to have a sit down. There's no... Again, it just pisses me off now. When Brent... breaking news, huge transfer. Ooh, let me just lure you in and then tell you absolutely sweet FA. Lovely. Thanks, mate, for wasting my time. I still don't expect United to make a signing. And you're mentioning Ruben Neves down there. I'm seeing the whispers. The whispers were already there. Okay? It's not impossible. Ruben Neves, 15 to 25 million, somewhere in that region. I could see him being a good squad upgrade for Ugarte leaving. We've heard nothing on the Ugarte leaving situation. As it stands, Carrick's going to have a chat with Chris Vivell and I don't know who else. That's it. In terms of what else has actually happened, there's a couple of things here. Daryl saying, Sam, you're reading it wrong. It's actually positive. It's up to Carrick. Dude, listen to yourself. Just repeat that sentence. You're wrong, Sam. It's up to Carrick. So you're saying it's up to a manager who has been in the club for 5 days? 5 days as to whether or not we make a January transfer signing. And you believe what you're saying there. Do you? No. You know you don't. It's not up to Carrick. He'll be involved. He'll have his ideas. He might say, this is probably where we could strengthen, but we won't need to hear that from Carrick because we already know that. I don't see it happening. Not from a negative perspective, but if it was going to happen, I don't know, it just feels like it maybe it would have happened now, I suppose. Do you have to be so negative all the time? Imagine someone coming to me and saying that. The amount of times I get accused of being too positive. Now I'm being negative. Okay, doke. I suppose the Amram situation kind of delayed any... We haven't really been able to speak about transfers in January, have we? Because we've been busy sacking a manager, busy bringing in an interim manager, and then bringing in an head coach, until the summer. I don't know. So maybe we haven't really had time to talk about them. In terms of stuff that's actually happened, it's not going to be anything that really affects the first team, but just a couple of things. Sam Mather has actually left the club. He was going to be leaving in the summer, but it never really moved. It never really went forward. Now he's gone to Kayserispor, Turkey. Anyway, good luck to Sam Mather. On top of that, you've got this from Roma's director. This was 2 days ago. 2 days ago? Yesterday? I think so. As it stands, Xerxes going nowhere. And that's been the case for a little while. Then on top of it, I forgot to get these all set up. Let me just quickly set up the end of this show. That one's a bit annoying. This is going to be an interesting convo. Sorry. Forgot to get it all sized up properly. But yeah. Xerxes, as far as Roma are concerned, they're still saying it's unlikely. United have said no. Whether that changes, I don't know. But that's what the situation is. On top of that, Hull have confirmed that Toby Collier is going to be going on loan to them. So he went to West Brom first half of the season. Was injured quite a fair amount. Came back to the club. He's recovered. And now he looks like he's going to be going out on loan again. So good luck to Collier. Another loan move. Hopefully a little bit more successful than the first one. This one I'm a little bit annoyed about. But it's Chelsea. Like, I don't know what you can do. I really have no idea what you can do. Jeremy Jacquet is a centre-back for Rennes and he's kind of been... is the exact sort of player that United could and should be looking at signing. Probably in the summer. I don't think there was any chance of us going after him in January. But look at that. They've already agreed personal terms. Rennes wants 65 million euros for him. He's a little bit more established than Lenny Yoro was when we signed him from Lille. But, don't know, it's just a bit annoying. It's just Chelsea, isn't it? Chelsea just sweep. Imagine, like, penny for the thoughts of, like, Giovanni Kenda now, who, of course, joined Chelsea and then went back to Sporting for a year on loan. So he's going to join in the summer. And now Rosenthal comes in. Very unlikely to play the role that he wants to there. I don't know. Yeah, Collie got injured, I know. That's why we did recall him. But Jeremy Jacquet, man, looks like maybe Chelsea. Yeah, someone's saying we have two young centre-backs. I think the club will be looking to probably replace Maguire in the summer. I don't know. I can't see the... I did a video on that. When was it? A couple of months ago. Speaking about moving on Maguire, moving on Casemiro. I feel like it's the right time for the football club. Maguire played fantastic against City. I'm hoping that he can have a real... because he's been out since November. I don't actually know what he was completely out for. Was it a hamstring? Don't quite know. He'll want to be completely fit for the World Cup, and I hope he is, because I think England probably a better team with him in. But it doesn't change my opinion on it, and I think we probably will sign a centre-back in the summer. But by the sounds of it, maybe Jeremy Jacquet won't be on that potential list. Did you watch Murillo against Arsenal? He miscontrolled a long pass. That's a yellow flag. Do you mean red flag? First of all. Second of all, as if I'm going to say it's a red flag because he miscontrolled one pass. Your heart, please. Now, one more thing. Two more things I want to speak about. Number one. Bloody hell. I told you that we, as a team in the background, we've started our work on the new manager series, new head coach series. We're going to be looking at 8 or 9 different head coaches that could come in the summer and running through their tactical approach, what their personality is, any clashes that they've had with those that are above them in the same way that Amram did towards the end. And Glasner's first on our list, and the video is going to be ready to release on Wednesday. We're going to have to add this stuff into it because Glasner has gone full grenade out, woof, in the exact same way that Amram did. And David Ornsley's actually said that they still plan to keep him until the end of the season, but it's fair to say there are plenty of red flags in this Glasner video that we're going to be doing. As I said, we're going to be doing one on every single. We've got, who's our list? We've got Glasner, Tuchel, Ancelotti, Enrique, Iraola, Nagelsmann. That's 6. We've got like 9 or 10. Can't remember what other ones. There's a lot. But the idea is to help you understand fully more about the man and the manager. What's happened behind the scenes? What's his record of bringing through youth players? Has he fallen out with any players in his career before? Can you give us some examples of it? Going to be like 10-minute fact files. Really? Poch is one of them. De Zerbi's not on a list, but we might have to throw him in because there's been a lot of stuff going on around that. But yeah, that Glasner stuff's a bit mad. That was spectacular on Saturday. Really, really spectacular. As we've spoken about, can I say one more time down here to Dean, to Gungshi, and to JC, your generosity is unparalleled, and you really do help this community take forward, and you give me the ability to keep investing back into it. So thank you so much. And so do United by playing like that. Can we do it every week? I mean, why not? I'm not saying that we expect that level of performance, but why not? You're playing once a week. You're playing Arsenal next. Then you got a week before the... Who's next? Fulham? Can't remember. You've shown that you can do it. Obviously, you get G'd up for these games. It's a Manchester derby. It's Old Trafford. It's Carrick's first game. The game had a bit more juice than your average game. But so should Arsenal away, by the way. After that, let's see. One game at a time, but none of us expected us to be where we are after one game. All credit to Carrick and his coaching staff. So much was said about Steve Holland and Jonathan Woodgate. I'm not really going to speak about them. I'm just going to let the football talk for itself. And that's what United did. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Much love. If you are new to United People's TV, please do consider subscribing. Oh, look, we've hit 567,000 now. Come on, boys. You know what my ambition is? It's my birthday on the 13th of March. I don't think this is going to be possible. But I would love us to be able to reach 600,000 by the 13th of March. So if you are new here, please do get involved. And maybe we'll do a little road to 600. We'll do some giveaways. We'll do some fun stuff. But yeah, that's my ambition. To reach 600 by the 13th. So we've got 2 months. If United play like that every single week, well, maybe we will do it. Because that was great. Thank you all. I'll be here lunchtime, probably at 7 p.m. as well. Double drop today and tomorrow morning. And you can probably check out some shorts as well. Take it easy.